It all begins with sand, heat, and a remarkable accident. Our story starts over 5,000 years ago in the ancient lands of Mesopotamia and Egypt. Here, along the sandy shores and in the bustling workshops of early potters, humanity first encountered this strange, beautiful new material. The Roman historian Pliny the Elder told a tale of Phoenician sailors who, resting on a beach, placed cooking pots on blocks of natron from their cargo. The intense heat of their fire, it is said, melted the sand and natron together, creating a stream of liquid glass. While this story is likely a legend, it captures the simple magic at the heart of glass, sand transformed by fire into something entirely new and wondrous. These earliest forms of glass were not the clear panes we know today. They were opaque, often a deep blue or green, treasured for their resemblance to precious stones like lapis lazuli or turquoise. Early glassmakers did not yet know how to blow glass. Instead, they used a painstaking method called core forming. They would shape a core of clay and dung on the end of a metal rod, dip it repeatedly into a crucible of molten glass, and then slowly build up layers. Threads of different colored glass could be wound around the object and combed into wavy patterns, creating intricate and vibrant designs that mimicked the beauty of the natural world. The objects they created were small, delicate, and incredibly valuable. Think of tiny bottles to hold precious perfumes, beads to adorn the necks of pharaohs and queens, or decorative inlays for furniture and sarcophagi. Glass was a luxury item, a symbol of wealth and power that was reserved for the elite of society. It was a material born of the earth, yet it seemed to hold a light of its own, a captured piece of the sky or the sea. For thousands of years, this was the nature of glass, a rare jewel, painstakingly crafted and admired for its colourful brilliance, a testament to human ingenuity. This early glass was a marvel, but it was also limited by its creation process. Each piece was unique, taking immense skill and time to produce, which made it far too expensive for ordinary people. The world of glass was a small one, confined to the palaces of kings and the temples of gods. It was a beautiful secret, waiting for a technological breakthrough that would unlock its true potential. That breakthrough was coming, not from the banks of the Nile, but from the workshops of another great civilization, an innovation that would allow humans to shape glass not just with their hands, but with their very breath. Around the 1st century BC, somewhere along the Syrian-Palestinian coast, a revolutionary technique was discovered, glassblowing. This single invention changed everything. Instead of slowly building glass around a core, a craftsperson could now gather a blob of molten glass on the end of a long, hollow pipe and inflate it with their breath, much like a balloon. Suddenly, glass could be shaped quickly, efficiently, and into a seemingly endless variety of forms. It was a moment of pure genius, transforming a luxury material into something with practical, everyday potential. The secret did not remain contained for long. The timing was perfect. The rapidly expanding Roman Empire, with its vast trade networks and appreciation for engineering, embraced this new technology with incredible enthusiasm. Roman artisans mastered glassblowing and spread the skill across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. For the first time in history, glass became accessible to more than just the super-rich. Workshops sprang up in major Roman cities, producing a vast array of goods. The Romans were practical people, and they immediately saw how useful glass could be. They crafted elegant drinking cups, sturdy storage jars for food and wine, and bowls of all shapes and sizes for the Roman table. But the Romans didn't stop there. They experimented relentlessly, pushing the boundaries of what glass could do. They became masters of making clear, transparent glass, a significant leap from the opaque materials of Egypt. This clarity allowed for a new and remarkable innovation: window panes. While early Roman window glass was often thick and distorted, it allowed natural light to flood into buildings for the first time, protecting inhabitants from the wind and rain. Imagine the difference this made to a home, a bathhouse, or a shop to be able to see outside while remaining sheltered. It was a fundamental change in how people experienced their living spaces. The Roman fascination with glass also extended to artistry. They perfected techniques like mosaic glass, where canes of colored glass were fused and sliced to create intricate patterns, and cage cups, where a single piece of thick glass was painstakingly cut and ground away to create a delicate, freestanding, decorative cage around an inner cup. These objects were masterpieces of skill, demonstrating a complete command over the material. When the Roman Empire eventually fell, its immense legacy of glassmaking did not disappear. The knowledge was preserved, ready to be rediscovered and adapted in the centuries to come. As Europe entered the Middle Ages, the grand centralized production of the Roman era fragmented, yet glassmaking endured, evolving in remarkable new ways. In the Byzantine and Islamic worlds, artisans continued the Roman traditions of creating intricate and beautifully decorated vessels. But in northern Europe, a new and awe-inspiring use for glass emerged: the stained glass window. The great Gothic cathedrals that rose across the continent were designed with vast open spaces for windows, and glassmakers filled them with a kaleidoscope of color. These were not simply windows. They were massive, luminous stories told in glass. To create these masterpieces, glassmakers would first produce large, flat sheets of colored glass, adding metallic oxides to the molten sand to create brilliant reds, blues, and yellows. These sheets were then cut into carefully shaped pieces, which were arranged to form images of saints, biblical scenes, and intricate patterns. The pieces were then joined together with strips of lead, creating a vast and complex mosaic. When sunlight streamed through these windows, it filled the soaring interiors of the cathedrals with an ethereal, divine light. It was a powerful spiritual experience designed to lift the human soul, and it was all made possible by the humble art of the glassmaker. Meanwhile, in the Venetian lagoon, another chapter in the story of glass was unfolding. Fearing the devastating fires that glass furnaces could cause in the wooden city of Venice, the government in 1291 ordered all glassmakers to move their operations to the nearby island of Murano. This isolation had an unintended consequence. It turned Murano into a world-renowned center of glassmaking excellence. The secrets of their craft were jealously guarded, and Venetian glassmakers achieved a level of skill and artistry that was unmatched anywhere in the world. They developed a passion for purity and elegance. The master artisans of Murano perfected a completely clear and flawless glass known as cristallo. It was prized for its delicate, almost weightless quality. They also developed fantastical new decorative techniques, creating intricate latticework patterns, called latticino, and embedding threads of gold within the glass itself. Murano glass became the ultimate luxury item, sought after by kings, queens, and popes across Europe. To own a piece of Venetian glass was to own a work of art, a symbol of supreme taste and wealth. This focus on artistic perfection and technical mastery set a new standard for glassmaking that would influence artisans for generations. The pursuit of perfect glass was not limited to art, it also fueled a scientific revolution. In the 17th century, the development of high-quality lenses changed how we saw the universe. In the Netherlands, spectacle makers experimenting with lenses created the first telescopes, allowing astronomers like Galileo Galilei to gaze at the moon, the planets, and the stars beyond. Suddenly, the heavens were revealed in astonishing detail. At the same time, the microscope, another invention based on glass lenses, opened up a new universe in the opposite direction, a hidden world of tiny organisms invisible to the naked eye. Glass became the window to both the infinitely large and the infinitely small. The next great leap forward came with the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries. New technologies and fuel sources like coal allowed for the mass production of glass on an unprecedented scale. The invention of machines that could produce continuous sheets of flat glass made windows affordable for ordinary homes, changing the look of cities and towns forever. Glass bottles and jars could now be produced by the million, revolutionizing the food and beverage industries and improving public health. Glass was no longer a luxury or a scientific curiosity. It was becoming a fundamental and ubiquitous part of modern life, a transparent servant to industry and society. Today we live in a world surrounded by glass in forms that ancient Egyptians or Romans could never have imagined. Our skyscrapers are draped in curtains of high-performance architectural glass that can control heat and light. We drink from mass-produced glasses and store food in endlessly recyclable jars. But perhaps the most remarkable evolution is the glass we now carry in our pockets. The screen of a modern smartphone is a marvel of material science. A chemically strengthened glass like Gorilla Glass, incredibly thin and yet astonishingly resistant to scratches and impacts. It is our primary window to the digital world, a smooth, responsive surface that connects us to information and each other. From a mysterious jewel-like substance born in the fires of ancient furnaces, glass has become one of the most versatile and essential materials of our time. It is a medium for breathtaking art, from the delicate sculptures of Murano to the grand installations of contemporary artists. It is a tool for science, a building block of our cities, and the interface for our digital lives. The 5,000-year journey of glass is a story of human curiosity and innovation, a story of how we learned to tame sand and fire to create a material that is at once strong, fragile, practical, and beautiful.